Hello and welcome to today's Almost Daily Devotion. We're in Psalm chapter 22. We're going to start with the 6th verse, and it goes like this. But I'm just a worm, less than human, insulted by people, despised by another. All who see me make fun of me. They gape, shaking their heads. He committed himself to the Lord, so let God rescue him. Let God deliver him, because God likes him so much. But you are the one who pulled me from the womb, placing me safely at my mother's breasts. I was thrown on you from birth. You've been my God since I was in my mother's womb. Please don't be far from me, because trouble is near, and there is no one to help. So Psalm 22, we almost always only hear this in the context of Jesus' cry from the cross. In Mark, Jesus cries from the cross, my God, why have you forsaken me? Eloi, lama sabachthani. And as the beginning, it is a reference back to Psalm 22, a cry, an existential cry of pain and abandonment and loss. And we get to verse 6, and my first instinct when I read these chapters is, well, maybe let's slow down a little bit. You're going a little bit overboard, right? I don't know if you've been around small children lately, but my small children, when they hurt themselves, they weep. You know, it doesn't matter what size of the wound it is. They just weep and they cry and they wail. And my mother used to say, when we would do that, my mother would say, well, maybe we should just chop it off. Which, of course, she was joking. But was just sort of her way of saying it's not that bad. It could be worse. But what it does remind us is that there are times that our pain is pain. And it doesn't really matter what the depth of the pain is, how big the pain is, how small the pain is. It's there and exists. It is a real part of our lives. And ignoring it or pretending it doesn't exist or dismissing it as not important doesn't make the pain go away. If you cut yourself and you don't put a Band-Aid on it, if you cut yourself and you just say, "Oh, it's just a paper cut. It's not gonna matter. It'll be fine," but you don't do anything with it, that cut will bother you, right? For all the time, every day, you're gonna get that little cut, and it's gonna irritate you, and it's gonna bother you, and it's gonna itch, and it's gonna do whatever. And in the worst case scenarios, those open wounds that we don't deal with, they lead to infections, they lead to real illness, they lead to all kinds of negative consequences. And so how often do we diminish our pain by saying it's not important, or it's not a big deal, it's not that bad, or by overreacting, and so then we give it too much credence. And so it's too bad to deal with, and I can't deal with it. It's too much. It's too much for me to deal with. I'll deal with it in another time. And in all of these ways, we make our pain insignificant or unimportant or invaluable. And we say that our hurts and our losses are not as bad as somebody else's, and so let's not deal with it. But I think instead, we need to acknowledge that pain is pain and loss is loss. And whether it's a big pain or a little pain, or a big loss or a little loss, or something that goes away in a day, or something that lasts a lifetime, pain is pain. And we need to acknowledge every bit of it, every ounce of it. We need to give every drop of it to God. We need to take a moment to say, yeah, you know what? I cut myself. And so maybe going on and on about how you're a worm and you're crawling in the dirt and everyone hates you is too much, because my chances are that you're not a worm and everyone doesn't hate you and you're not crawling in the dirt. You're just having a bad day or a bad year. But we can still, no matter what, no matter the size of the pain, offer it over to God and say, God, dude, do you see my pain here? Do you see I'm hurting? Help me to see you. Help me to remember the times when you have offered me comfort in the past. And let me be blessed by your wisdom and mercy. So where do you need this prayer? What pain is lingering that you haven't dealt with? What paper cut do you need to put a Band-Aid on? What broken leg do you need to splint? Either way, the first step is to give it to God. So maybe cry out, my God, why do I feel forsaken?